Hello and welcome to The Short Take, the podcast where we talk about all things short films, apart from when we don't. I'm your host Jake, and with me, as ever, is my co-host Alex.
That's me.
How you doing?
I'm good. I feel like, I don't know, for some reason in my head I feel like you were going to do the intro without introducing us. I don't know why.
I would never.
No.
I get the intro right first time, every time.
It's true.
First time, every
First
time.
take Jake, that's what we call you.
I'm First Take Jake. This week, we are looking at a short film, and it's called Reality, and it was picked by me, which is pretty exciting.
And it shows.
I do seem to be building a reputation for picking a certain caliber of a short film.
There needs to be a yin and a yang to the pod.
There does.
Your yang.
Okay. So I chose a film called Reality. I chose this very specifically. I've had this on so I have a YouTube playlist called The Short Take, where every time I see a short film that's like a reasonable length, I just add it to the playlist so that I can watch them all in one go. This has been on there for a while. It's the second one I added. It's not good.
Okay, well, let's talk about this quick. Do you know anything about this in terms of behind the scenes stuff?
Literally nothing.
Okay.
So the synopsis of this film is a guy goes to a restaurant and he's on a date and he's very nervous. He seems to have not been able to speak to people for a very long time, and they're both kind of talking about their lives and stuff like that. And there's a couple of they keep getting weird glances about certain things. So something is not as it seems. And that's kind of the setup.
It feels like a student film.
Yes.
And it feels like it's written by 20-somethings. Very early 20-somethings, like 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds.
Yeah. The dialogue is not great.
No. I think it's a lot of stating things that only teenagers think is interesting. Or not interesting, but they think is like fucking, whoa, this is deep. Nobody's ever considered this.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that, which I think is its biggest
There's
problem.
I think its biggest problem, we'll get to the
There's
biggest.
no plot.
Yeah, there's no plot. There's no conflict at all.
No, Jake, listen. Jake.
They're talking about star signs.
Social media. Your social media?
That's the power of social media,
I've
mate.
only been on social media. Social media. That's what the film
That
does.
is the film. Yeah, it has no... There is a massive issue, I think, at the very end. The twist of it. I think it's so dumb.
Yeah,
it's
takes a twist for the sake of it.
The film, if you take the twist out, right, the film's still not great, but it's at least something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you have the start of something. Like, they're both people who are struggling. I don't actually know when this came out, but when I first watched it, I was like, oh, it's a post-pandemic date.
Yeah.
But I think this probably predates the pandemic.
I didn't even consider pandemic.
Yeah. When I was watching it, I was like, oh, it's like, these people haven't been on a date. They're young, so they probably haven't ever been on a date, The pandemic's fucked up their lives for like 3 years or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought that's what the angle was, but I think it did come out before the pandemic, so that's obviously not what it was. Even then, you're like, these two people have their own problems, and they're at odds with each other.
There's
they're not.
The acting doesn't help.
Yeah, the acting is not great.
There's a moment where he says, someone like you, and she goes, someone like me?
Yeah.
And the lights go all black behind her and they come back up, which is cool. It's technically actually very good. There's a lot of cool stuff in this, and it's very well shot. But she does that, and then he's like, I just mean someone as pretty as you. And she's like, well, you can stop thinking that. And then they just carry on talking, and I'm not sure what the
what the point
situation was, what was happening. I was like, wait. Yeah, it's very odd, but it is very well technically done. I think the lighting's quite nice. I don't know how I feel totally about the purpleness of it.
It was very purple.
Very student-y, is what I can say.
Also, the very, very small tidbit I think shows how student-y it is. The costume design was a bit weird. The guy, when he's wearing like a polo shirt with a tie.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone wears that. And then he takes it off in the toilet.
Because he's like, that was weird.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the point.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. I just thought that was a very weird thing to put in.
It's I'm struggling to find anything to say now. It's just very, very odd. I think a lot of it, the issue is people just saying stuff.
There's no subtext.
No subtext at all. It's not subtle in the slightest.
No, they just say
there's the bit where she starts saying about, it's like, you have your job, and actually, it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. I feel very free at the moment.
And that's freeing.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. Like, what an original, crazy thought you had.
Imagine if no one had to do a job.
It's just, again, very 20, 21, 19. Like, that age range of just, like, people just realizing stuff about the world and, like, thinking it's, like, revolutionary. But it's not in the slightest.
Yeah, it's very half-baked ideas.
Yeah.
It's probably people who are writing about stuff they don't understand.
Yes.
Right? Like, the biggest thing people talk about when writing is, like, write what you know. You know, write the feelings and the emotions, the situations that you have been in or similar to.
Yeah.
And I feel like none of the people involved in this have ever been on a date, I guess.
It felt like it was going to be, like, I thought that it was going to be all about anxiety and stuff.
That's what I thought.
Just with the beginning stuff. And then when it started happening and, like, him kind of, like, literally saying, like, oh, I'm very nervous and, like, all this stuff, I was like, basically, the best thing I can compare it to is, like, Ted Lasso and, like, his treatment of, like, mental health. Because, like, Ted Lasso, the show, in terms of what is actually happening, is not directly about mental health.
Yeah.
But his mental health is having an effect on things happening in sense of, like, there's a bigger thing going on, but to him, there's this other thing going on, and it's, like, affecting the rest of it.
Yeah.
In this, it's just somebody saying they have anxiety almost.
And
nothing,
like,
it's not affecting anything really, because they're just, like, directly saying, like, listen, just so you know, I have really bad anxiety.
Yeah.
They're not, like, having a horrible time at the date because they're stressing out and
Yeah.
doing something wrong and not saying that, because you wouldn't say that.
No, you
would never
wouldn't.
turn around to your date and be
No.
like, I'm very nervous right now, actually. Very, very anxious. I've only been online all my life. Also, what does it even mean? Like, they really ask for a selfie and stuff, and I get they're probably trying to go for, like, it being weird because he's been on the internet his whole life.
Well, the only reason they put that in is for the twist, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They
It's just, like,
only
there's no
put
point.
it in so you could put the reveal in. Like,
They love talking about social media
yeah.
and how, like, fucked up it is.
Like, the only indicators you get for the twist are when the waiter is involved.
Yeah.
And it's all scenes that could be cut so easily. Nothing else happens in them.
Yep. I knew as soon as the waiter was like, seriously? I was like, okay, so she's not there.
Yeah.
It's like the most obvious, like, thing ever. And, like, her being like, oh, you want to take a photo with me? Oh, for a second. And I think this would be 10 times more interesting. Still not particularly good, but 10 times more interesting. I thought it was going to be that they weren't meeting in person and that this was like a VR date.
Oh, right, okay.
I thought that was going to be it. And her being like, oh, like, annoyed about him saying she's beautiful, and
turns out they're, like, both 40-year-old men.
that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
I thought that's where it was going, and I think that would have been 1,000 times more interesting.
Yeah.
It still wouldn't have been particularly original. It would have kind of been like, eh. But, like, at least it would have been something.
Yeah.
And just the version we got, it's like, doesn't really make sense.
I completely forgot about the voiceover.
Yes, really dumb.
Really
Also,
dumb.
I love the bit where it's like playing like music, like really heartfelt music, and they're just doing fucking vodka shots.
Yeah.
It's like, bleh. I'm gonna remember this moment forever. It's like, no, you're not. Not like that.
No.
So, I also, there's a point where I was trying so hard not to laugh when, like, it got really normal for a second where, now I think about it, it's actually maybe the best version of what they were trying to do. The bit where the waiter pours for him and not for her.
Yeah.
That's probably the cleverest version of what they were trying to do, because
Yeah.
like, I didn't actually pick up on that the first time.
That was the first
instance
of it being like that, I think.
Yeah, but like, he walks away and he's like, wow, that was pretty rude. Do you want me to? She's like, no, it's cool. And so it becomes like a really normal conversation suddenly, like it's just a really normal thing. And he's like, anyway, you were saying about this, and then like just sad music starts playing. She's like, yes.
I'm very sad.
I'm very sad, actually.
Yeah.
And you know, the world's actually horrible, and man, yeah, everything doesn't matter, I guess. And my boss, I don't really care about him, and he doesn't care about me. So I guess nothing matters, and it's all fine. And just the music playing, I was like, what is happening? The idea of just
So
every now and then it
weird.
becomes normal, and then every now and then, like, it's just like
Yeah.
sad music, say something sad, go back to normal, sad music, say something sad. It was really weird.
Yeah, it's very off-putting when they just say the things they feel.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that was a doozy.
It was surely a doozy.
Yeah.
I thought the first time I watched it that the voiceover was like them in the future as like a couple.
Well, there's a point where he says, "What did you think when you first spoke to me?"
Yeah.
When you first met
And
me.
like she calls him babe and stuff, and it's
Yeah.
like obviously a future relationship of them like reminiscing on their first date kind of
yeah,
thing.
but that's not what it is.
That's not what it is at all.
It's so weird.
It, if anything, it implies that he has been continually going out with this unreal person for like a while.
Social media is great. What are you commenting on? What do you think's happening on social media?
Oh god.
What? Anyway.
So I hope you're looking forward to my next pick.
I'm not. I never am. What,
So if 2 films were accusing you of something, and you're going to go to prison... I've not really thought this through at all.
What are you saying?
No, okay, so if you're...
What?
Okay, so... Alright, so no, okay, you're on trial for pirating.
Oh, okay.
And 2 film... Or no, all of the films so far that we've reviewed this series are going to testify against you. Would you...
Why'd you keep going this route? You had it.
Would you want this one to testify against you?
What does that mean?
Don't know.
It doesn't mean anything. Why do you do it like this?
This film doesn't mean anything
Why
either.
don't we do this? You've been fucking pirating movies for years.
Yeah.
And the courts say, okay, we've been pirating movies. It's very naughty of you, actually. But we're going to give you one last chance. Do not pirate a movie ever again.
Would you pirate this?
Yeah, would you pirate this movie?
I was going to say, would you trust this movie to give you a good statement?
No.
An alibi?
No. I wouldn't trust any movie. I would not pirate this movie, even if I did have infinite opportunity to pirate a movie. Like, there was no threat of law enforcement. I would still not pirate this movie. I would actively search out places that are pirating it and try and get it removed.
So no one else has to watch this.
No. I think we should say as well. Okay, wait a minute. We've shat on this film a lot. Again, very technically well done. I think the writing's quite poor, but I do think that comes from the fact as a young writer. I think there's definitely opportunity for whoever's done this to take stuff from this and make something better.
100%.
And again, I think technically it's actually very good, and I think the direction's actually pretty good as well. I think a lot of the shot choices, like, it was never a moment in the film that I can think of where I was taken out of it because of anything to do with the shots.
No, not at all.
It was purely the script, and like the actors weren't amazing, but I think that might partially be because the script's not great. If anything, I'd say it's really, really well shot.
Yeah.
If I could watch it silently and somebody dub over it, maybe it'd be better. Maybe we can do that. Maybe
should we do a recreation of this?
Should we redub it and just put it out?
You're actually an imaginary podcaster, and I'm doing both voices.
Nobody knows. But yeah, no. I think but it's not good. I don't want to watch it again.
No, I don't particularly want to watch it again.
But I do think the lighting team and the directing team and the camera team should be proud.
Yeah.
And the sound design, actually.
Yeah, sound design was pretty good. Yeah.
Other than the things they were saying.
There was a moment right at the start of the film, actually, that I forgot about, when he first sits down and everyone in the restaurant turns and stares at him. And it's like, she hasn't even arrived yet.
Yeah,
like,
give
what?
him a minute.
Like, what? Like, that's normal. If you're on a first date, like, one of you's going to show up first and sit down at the table. I just thought that was a very odd moment to include.
Weird. It's very weird. But whatever.
Yeah, it is what it is. So, Alex has some questions for me.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Jake 3 questions. If he gets those 3 questions correct, he gets a bonus question.
Ooh.
So far, I'm winning.
By quite a lot.
Well, how did you get wrong when you only got 1 wrong, didn't you?
I got Power of the Dog.
Yeah, and you got Charlie Hunnam as well.
I did, so I only got that.
So you only got 1 wrong.
Creed 2-1.
Yeah.
Creed 1 or 2 wrong.
You got Creed wrong, which I thought was the easy one.
I know, I was so close to it as well. I just didn't think it through.
And that means you didn't get the bonus question either, so that means...
So you're on like 7 and I'm on 2.
I am on 7.
Because we didn't do a true or false in the first episode.
That's fine.
So I've got an extra question to you and I'm still losing.
Okay, who said this? I drive a motorbike, so there is the whiff of Grim Reaper around every corner, especially in London.
Absolutely no idea.
In January 1942, which 33-year-old actress, famous for her roles in such screwball comedies as My Man Godfrey and To Be or Not to Be, and for her first marriage to the actor Clark Gable, I don't know why I said first, it's just for her marriage to the actor Clark Gable, was killed when the plane she was travelling in crashed? And which film is this from? The world's moved on, Commander Bond. You're a 00. 2 years, so stay in your lane. You get in my way, I'll put a bullet in your knee. The one that works.
Don't know. I think I'm right. I think every 3 questions are really hard, and every 3 other 3 questions are really easy.
Can I just say, we're not... So this is from a book, and we're going through them, so it's not like we're picking questions for each other. So I did not pick 3 questions.
We're just doing it in order.
Just doing it in order. I think you should know the last one.
I know. I mean, it's a Bond film. right?
I think you should know it. I have no idea about the second one. The first one, I wouldn't know. I'll tell you this: the first one isn't a quote from a film. I think it's just something someone said.
What? Something about motorbikes and a Grim Reaper smelling around every corner.
I drive a motorbike, so there is the whiff of the Grim Reaper around every corner, especially in London. I have a feeling this isn't a quote. I might be wrong, because it's not a character name, I'll tell you that. Like, it's not a character name.
What the fuck? I can't even think of it. Like, Ghost Rider? I don't know.
The Ghost Rider's the first thing I thought of. It's only a London bit movie.
Nick Cage?
No, it's Benedict Cumberbatch.
What?
He famously said
what?
Classic Ben.
Oh, it just says who said what. Okay,
yeah.
It's not actually about a film, right?
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. I don't think it's it's not meant to be an actor or a film.
Yeah.
How about
this was the woman who died at 33.
She was married to Clark Gable.
I don't know. Julie Andrews?
No, it was Carol Lombard.
Literally never heard that name.
Never got that. The last one, I think you should be able to get.
Say it again.
The world's moved on, Commander Bond. You're a 00. 2 years, so stay in your lane. You get in my way, I will put a bullet in your knee. The one that works.
Oh, is this Skyfall?
No. I don't. It's No Time to Die. The newest one, Lashana Lynch, she says it to him when she meets him. She picks him up on the moped. Like when she pretends to flirt with him in the club.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
she goes back to his place, and then she's like,
"I'm
actually
a
00.
Okay.
And then she's like, "Yeah," and I'll put a bullet in.
I thought it might be Javier Bardem because he used to work for MI5, didn't he? Oh well.
Do you want the true or false?
Yeah, sure.
I feel like it should be if you get none right or if you get all right. Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry was voted as the 36th best Scottish educational establishment, outranking Edinburgh's Loretto School. True or false?
True.
True?
Yeah.
Nice. Shows a lot about Scotland.
It does. Wow, that was rough. It's going to be every other week. It's going to be Alex just like getting these questions right, and then every other week it's going to be Jake struggling to get a single answer.
I would only have got one of those. So it's not fair. But anyway.
Okay, so I think that's everything, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
I don't think there's anything else to say.
No, I don't think there's anything we have to retroactively add back in. See if you can spot what we retroactively add.
It's nothing. The correct answer is nothing. We always do everything in the correct order and don't miss things.
Classic.
It's also not clunky at all and doesn't have too many segments at the start.
Nope.
Definitely not.
Definitely not too segment heavy. Definitely not too segmented. We're perfect.
We are. Anyways, we'll catch you next week.
How dare you? We'll catch you next week.
What?
See you next week. Or should we say, you'll hear us, but we'll see you. So I guess we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Remember, I forgot to say this last time. Remember to subscribe, I know, and leave a comment or a like. I don't know, one of them. Do whatever you like.
Comment your favourite bean.
Comment what film you would pirate illegally if the court were to catch you one more time, you'd go to prison forever.
Yeah, and your favourite bean.
And your favourite bean.
Them next to each other, specifically film then bean.
And then we'll guess which one's which.
Well, no, because we just said specifically that order.
Maybe you can do bean then film.
Oh, okay, wait, no. Do the film one. But you have to turn the film into a pun on a bean.
You have to.
It's like the French Connection would be the French bean.
You have to pick a film that is an anagram of a bean.
Ooh.
And we have to guess what the bean is.
How many films are anagrams of beans? The Bean Movie.
Probably like 3.
Mr. Bean. Yeah. If you can find a film that's an anagram of a bean, we'll give you like, I don't know, 10 quid.
No, we won't.
Yeah, we will.
We'll give you a high five.
A higher number of money. £5 extra, £15. Okay, Jake.
This is coming out of your pocket.
Your mouth. My mouth, your pocket.
God damn it.
Yeah. So leave that down in the comments below. Click like and subscribe. And
we're going to do one of these every week.
Yeah, we'll see.
Next week is your favourite rice.
And then after that is soy sauce.
We're just building a very specific meal.
And then we eat at the end.
In the last episode, we eat whilst we record.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be horrible. And yeah, that's it.
Cool. See you next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did the other thing already.
Yeah, we did.
Bye.
Fucking, I hate doing this, dude. I hate this fucking podcast. I hate having to talk to these fucking idiots.